Lawrence Wright, Going Clear, Scientology, Hollywood, and the Prison of Belief. Get ready to discover the mysterious world of Scientology as we explore Lawrence Wright's Going Clear, Scientology, Hollywood, and the Prison of Belief. This book summary delves into the history, beliefs, and controversies surrounding this enigmatic religion. In this summary, unravel the complexity of Scientology's origins, founded by L. Ron Hubbard, who combined religious, scientific, and science fiction elements into the Church's doctrines. Investigate its perspective on immortality and psychotechniques, the role of Hollywood celebrities in the Church's dominance, and the dark side of Scientology, including harassment of critics and abusive practices within the organization.
Scientology, religion or science? Scientology, an organization with a debated number of members, faces questions regarding its status as a religion. The U.S. government has shifted its stance on Scientology multiple times, complicating the matter. In 1957, it was granted religious status but later lost it in 1967. The organization's claims to be based on scientific research cause further confusion. Although it regained tax-exempt status as a charitable organization in 1993, controversy still surrounds its core principles and whether it should be considered a religion or not. Scientology's membership count remains elusive, with only about 25,000 self-proclaimed Scientologists in the United States. Estimating the real number is challenging without baptismal records or ritual professions of faith. The debate surrounding Scientology's status as a religion further clouds the issue. Initially, the U.S. government recognized Scientology as a religion in 1957. However, the IRS overturned this decision in 1967, labeling the organization as a commercial enterprise that primarily aimed to profit its founder, L. Ron Hubbard. Scientology took action to contest this ruling, enlisting religious experts to testify on their behalf. Expert Frank Flynn posited that Scientology shares aspects with other religions, such as a spiritual belief system and an adherence to behavioral norms, rites, and ceremonies. The organization also attributes supernatural abilities to its founder, much like Jesus, Muhammad, or Abraham in their respective religions. Despite this evidence, the U.S. government rejected Scientology's appeal for religious status. In a surprising shift, Scientology regained tax-exempt status as a charitable organization in 1993. However, the organization continues to spark controversy by claiming its foundations are based on scientific research. L. Ron Hubbard's book, Dianetics, is considered a central tenet of the belief system and purports to be an engineering science. Scientology's purportedly scientific basis remains contested, especially by the field of psychiatry, which the founder Hubbard openly despised. Consequently, the debate about whether Scientology should be classified as a religion or merely as a scientific enterprise endures. Unraveling Scientology's origins. In 1938, Scientology's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, discovered the secrets of the universe while under anesthesia during a dental procedure. He later shared these secrets as the foundations of Scientology's belief system. According to Hubbard, we are all the tans, immortal spirits who can overcome the limitations of our bodies with proper training. Through auditing, a psychotechnique, Scientologists can recall past lives and uncover the two incidents that led to the tans being trapped on Earth. Ultimately, Hubbard's psychotechniques provide a means for individuals to break free from the cycle of self-destruction and manipulation. During a dental operation in 1938, L. Ron Hubbard experienced profound visions that he believed were the secret to the universe. These visions would later inform the beliefs of the Church of Scientology. Hubbard claimed all humans are the tans, or immortal spirits, residing in mortal bodies. By understanding and training the mind, one can transcend the confines of the physical realm and access memories from past lives. Unlocking these past lives is achieved through auditing, a psychotechnique that allows individuals to attain hidden memories. To illustrate, Hubbard believed he coined the term, "the end justifies the means." In a previous life, accusing Machiavelli of plagiarism. Scientologists progressing through the organization's ranks learn about two pivotal events that caused the Tans to become trapped on Earth. The first event took place when the material world was created, causing the Tans to forget their immortality. The second transpired 75 million years ago with the oppressive Galactic Confederacy leader, Xenu. Xenu, foiling plans of mutiny against him, collaborated with malicious psychiatrists to ensnare the Tans. The Thetans' bodies were frozen, transported to Earth, and obliterated, leaving their spirits before a giant projection implanting them with contemporary earthly images and triggers to ensure each society self-destructs, for instance, through war. Through the use of Hubbard's psychotechniques, adherents of Scientology strive to liberate themselves from this perpetual cycle of manipulation and self-destruction. While the religion shares similarities with modern faiths, its teachings parallel elements of science fiction, a correlation further explored in subsequent sections. The Man Behind Scientology. Born in 1911, Lafayette Ronald Hubbard pursued interests in magic, shamanism, and psychoanalysis during his youth. While a poor student overall, he demonstrated exceptional writing abilities and began publishing his works during college. To support his family, Hubbard became an extraordinarily prolific science fiction writer, ultimately publishing a record-breaking 1,084 titles. After serving in the Navy during World War II, he fell into a personal crisis, including participating in a series of affairs and struggling with mental health issues. He developed a deep mistrust of psychiatry, setting the stage for the creation of Scientology. Unraveling the Dianetics phenomenon. Dianetics, introduced by L. Ron Hubbard, is a system of techniques designed to address and overcome painful memories, hindering our mental and spiritual growth. Hubbard himself delved into his own past, acknowledging his unremarkable military record and harnessing self-hypnosis to replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations, such as his passion for writing and living for 2 centuries. His system gained momentum when he established himself as a Dianetics coach in Hollywood and began auditing clients, hypnotizing them to recall and subsequently nullify past traumatic memories. Not everyone needed to forget all their traumas entirely to find healing, some even uncovered memories from past lives. Hubbard's book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health, skyrocketed in sales, sealing its position of importance within Scientology. Without the Church, however, Dianetics might have faded into obscurity. Birth of Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard, not previously known for religious inclinations, founded the Church of Scientology to offset the financial collapse of Dianetics foundations. Realizing that religious organizations offered continuous relevance and salvation, he established the first 2 churches in LA and Washington, D.C. to maintain solvency, gain popularity, and fulfill his dream of becoming a prominent figure. Curiously, there was a time when L. Ron Hubbard hadn't been deeply involved in any religious pursuits. Though he did have a fascination with shamanism, it wasn't immediately clear what nudged him towards creating his own church. The answer lies in the ups and downs of Dianetics. Initially successful, Hubbard even established 6 foundations dedicated to training auditors. However, 2 challenges emerged. Dianetics had an endpoint in that an individual was considered cured after overcoming all their trauma. Once that was achieved, the auditing process lost its purpose. Furthermore, interest in Dianetics took a nosedive, leading to bankruptcy declarations in 1952 and Hubbard eventually selling the Dianetics name. Amid the turbulence, an epiphany struck Hubbard: religious organizations were vastly different. Rather than promising a cure, they provided a ready-made belief system and an ever-present community. Moreover, religions continually offered the allure of salvation, which made them enduringly relevant to their followers. This realization fueled Hubbard's decision to establish the Church of Scientology in 1954. A financial motive was also discernible. In a letter to a colleague, he contemplated forming a spiritual guidance center to keep Hubbard's association of Scientologists afloat. Moreover, he had ambitious dreams of becoming a revered figure, and founding a new church provided the opportunity to be the central point of adulation. Thus, against this backdrop, Hubbard inaugurated the first two churches of Scientology in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. This story sheds light on the birth of Scientology, but a question remains: why is it still popular today? That answer awaits further exploration. The Art of Scientology Recruitment. Before achieving fame as a director and screenwriter, Paul Haggis was drawn into Scientology through a seemingly random encounter. However, this was no coincidence. It was a calculated method executed by a skilled Scientology recruiter. This recruitment process consists of 4 steps: establishing contact, disarming the individual, identifying their problems, and convincing them that Scientology holds the solution. This approach involves building rapport, overcoming skepticism, and gaining enough trust for the potential member to reveal personal issues. For example, Haggis confided in the recruiter about his tumultuous relationship with his girlfriend, leading to the recruiter suggesting a Scientology course as a solution. Equipped with in-depth training on how to win people over, Scientology recruiters follow these strategies while also leveraging other tools such as psychological testing, management seminars, and the Narconon drug rehabilitation program to attract and secure new members. Scientology's star-studded embrace. Scientology has long been associated with Hollywood's elite. The religion's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, recognized the value of recruiting well-known celebrities to endorse and promote the religion from its early years. Offering luxurious accommodations and personalized attention, Scientology has managed to secure long-standing relationships with stars such as Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and Juliette Lewis. Celebrity centers worldwide not only cater to these famous figures but also entice aspiring actors with the promise of networking opportunities and a chance to meet their idols. Since its inception, Scientology has cast its net to capture celebrities, aware of the powerful impact their influence would have on the religion's image. In an effort to create an aura of spirituality and enlightenment, Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard identified the value of enticing famous public figures, particularly movie stars, into the fold. As early as 1955, members of the church were encouraged to pursue big-name recruits like Marlene Dietrich and Walt Disney with promises of rewards for their success. Present-day celebrity involvement continues to boost Scientology's allure. Tom Cruise is one such high-profile advocate, and his direct consultation with church leader David Miscavige demonstrates the exclusive treatment offered to the organization's most valuable members. Cruise's initiation saw him whisked away to luxurious locales and provided with top-level auditing personnel, even enjoying a birthday celebration aboard the Scientology-owned cruise ship, Free Winds. To further accommodate their noteworthy participants, the first celebrity center was established in Hollywood in 1969. Today, satellite centers can be found scattered across major American and European cities. These centers are designed to not only draw in established stars but also to entice aspiring young actors. With the promise of rubbing shoulders with some of the industry's most alluring personalities, these celebrity centers serve as attractive hubs for those eager to benefit from the glamorous connections found within the Church of Scientology. Operation Snow White Unveiled. The Church of Scientology, founded by L. Ron Hubbard, engaged in covert missions to gain influence and protect its reputation worldwide. The infamous Operation Snow White involved the infiltration of major institutions in several countries. This eventually led to severe consequences for those involved. Furthermore, the Church employed aggressive tactics to silence critics such as intimidation, lawsuits, and smear campaigns. L. Ron Hubbard's Church of Scientology made headlines with real-life espionage that played out like a thrilling spy novel. The anxiety surrounding the organization's image in the late 1960s, particularly increasing hostility from the U.S., British, and French governments, led Hubbard to initiate Operation Snow White. Launched in 1973, this operation enlisted 5,000 Scientologists who successfully infiltrated 137 government agencies worldwide to find and cleanse any negative records about the Church. Some of the targeted organizations included Interpol, Germany's National Police, the IRS, Federal Trade Commission, Justice Department, American Medical Association, and various newspapers critical in their views on Scientology. However, the conspiracy unraveled in 1977, resulting in the imprisonment of 11 church members. This, by no means, was an isolated incident. The church was known for its relentless efforts to silence critics and ruin their reputations. One of these happened in 1973 when journalist Paulette Cooper wrote a critical article about Scientology. In response, the church initiated a series of retaliatory actions, which included suing her 19 times, harassment, phone tapping, and sending defamatory letters to her neighbors. More alarmingly, she faced accusations of sending a bomb threat to the Scientology headquarters. The FBI's eventual raid in 1977 exposed files on Operation Freakout, which aimed to have Cooper incarcerated in a mental institution or jail. Richard Behar's 1991 Time article, Scientology, The Thriving Cult of Greed and Power, further elucidated these incidents as not peculiar but commonplace. Critics of the organization often found themselves entangled in legal battles, followed by private detectives, and subjected to false accusations. This pattern of intimidation sheds light on the Church of Scientology's extreme measures to preserve its public image. Unmasking Scientology's abusive side. Scientology is infamous for harassing critics, but its dark history goes deeper, involving violence and abuse perpetrated by founder L. Ron Hubbard himself. Hubbard's second wife and first son recount instances of violent physical abuse. This behavior extended into the organization, as seen in the 1970s with members being confined to a dark basement. In 1977, when the FBI raided a church-owned building, they discovered around 120 terrified people in the basement, part of Scientology's Rehabilitation Project Force, RPF. The RPF, a mix of hard labor and spiritual healing, remains a mysterious form of punishment for members. Current Scientology leader David Miscavige has also faced allegations of violent abuse from former members. Despite these accounts, the Church of Scientology consistently denies all allegations of abuse.
Having uncovered the intricate story of Scientology, we have learned of its captivating blend of religion, science, and science fiction that has made it an attractive belief system for many. Founded by L. Ron Hubbard, a man with a questionable past and a thirst for power, Scientology has faced several controversies in its history. Using targeted recruiting tactics and establishing close relationships with influential celebrities, the church has gained widespread attention and influence. However, it has also been marred by abusive practices, harassment of critics, and murky internal affairs. By exploring the complete picture of Scientology, we can better understand and critically examine its legitimacy, influence, and impact on society.